A lot of us have that build a man mentality. A lot of us have oh, well, he's mean, I could fix it. He's violent, I could fix it. He's a drug dealer, I could fix it. He's a felon, I could fix it. You can't fucking fix it. What's good, y'all? Welcome. I forgot my intro. Hold on. Let's do that again. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. Do you guys like the new background? I'm not done with it. I need to get one of them hardcore situations. And yeah, I got to get this down pat. If an ad starts playing on this, mind your business. Okay? Pague muito model. All right? I need to figure out. Well, I know how to figure it out. I got to download it so it continuously streams without the ad. So if you see an ad, again, mind your business. Focus on today's topic, which is why good women love bad men, and particularly black women. Now, this is a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time, but it just sparked my interest again because one of these men on my Facebook timeline literally wrote a whole rant about it. And I had to set him straight. Listen, easy on us, easy on us, because I feel like all of us have had that phase, right? Where we just love bad boys. We love men that are dangerous. We love men that are not good for us. However, I feel like stupidity does have an expiration date. I am gonna hold you. So before we even get into this, please make sure you guys comment down below. When was your bad boy phase? Are you still in your bad boy phase? And what exactly attracts you to bad boys? Because I feel like this is a very deep conversation that a lot of people don't take into consideration. It's not necessarily an easy one and done. Women love bad men. They like what's bad for them. There's so many things that go into it. I will be sipping on my coffee for this video. I love me an Italiano with vanilla cream. So that's what I'm sipping on. If you at work, if you eating, if you sipping, whatever, comment down below. What are you having? So let's get into it. When it comes to the whole bad boy thing, I feel like we've all had that phase. I had that phase in high school. Literally, I was done with it when I was 15. But it was interesting to see people that were my age or older still falling into that trap. I know women that are legitimately in law school, women who are doctors. Literally, I knew a police officer that lost her job specifically because she wanted to deal with a bad boy. Now, what exactly is a bad boy, right? So the term bad boy covers a wide range of different type of men. These are men with records who continuously do stupid and bad things to harm themselves, their families, and people around them. These are the men that you will typically see as rude, crude, narcissistic, problematic, but most importantly, more so on the legal end. These are men that most of us with a good head on our shoulders, who took care of ourselves and more than likely did the inner work, would not even dare go near. However, for whatever reason, there's a lot of us who do. So if you guys are not aware, I grew up in the hood, okay? I lived in the hood my entire life. Bad boys were around me like it was a supermarket. I never really had to go far to find a bad boy. However, in order to avoid me being with a bad boy, my parents put me in Catholic school. I was in Catholic school from K through 8, but then they just couldn't pay for it no more. They tried to hide that they couldn't pay for it, but I was a very smart child. If you guys follow me on my personal channel, you know I talk about this all the time. I've always taken care of everyone, but most importantly, I've always taken care of myself. I decided to put myself in public school, and then that's where a lot of the series of dating bad boys really started. Luckily for me, my parents ended up sending me for France for one summer, and I came back all refined. I thought I was better than everybody and shit, but it stuck. Okay, it stuck. I was like, yeah, what am I doing with these little dusty ass motherfuckers, all right? And luckily for me, I will say with a lot of the bad boys I dealt with, they weren't necessarily bad until after we got together. They weren't selling drugs and getting locked up until way after. And it's damn, did I ruin your life? To be honest, maybe I'm the problem. Also understand that it's not just a bad boy thing. There's bad girls too, okay? Same definition, same thing, different gender, different sex. You guys need to understand that there's a lot that goes into this, hence why it is a dedicated video. So first things first, the main reason a lot of women, especially black women, are attracted to bad boys is because it's their environment. Like I said, I grew up in the hood. If I didn't get exposed to other things, if I didn't go to college, if I didn't have friends that were in different places and grew up in different areas for me, I would never have realized that a bad boy was a bad boy. a lot of women or people who grow up in certain circumstances, in certain environments, are not aware that what is around them is not what's best for them. Also, there's the idea that obviously if you make a connection with someone, more than likely you're going to be attracted to them. This is the same thing that goes for the whole interracial dating thing. There's a lot of black men and a lot of black women and a lot of people from different races and ethnicities that feel like you need to stay with your own. And honestly, I respect it, because honestly, I'm with a Haitian man. I've only dated black, Haitian, and Hispanic men, but that's specifically because I grew up in the hood, which was a Haitian hood that had predominantly black and Hispanic people. Now, would I say I wouldn't date an Asian man or an Indian man? No, actually, I'm attracted to whatever I'm attracted to. However, I understand the idea of people saying, hey, you need to stick with your own kind, da 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 da. It's just better that way. It does make it easier life if someone does understand your culture. That's why a lot of people tend to stay within their culture. But understand, if someone grew up in a predominantly white town and they are Asian-American, what are they going to do? They're going to date the white boys. If someone is a black girl from Louisiana and they end up moving to Freehold, New Jersey, what are they going to do? They're going to date the white boys. So understand, if you throw somebody in the hood, okay, it doesn't matter if they black, white, whatever the case may be, more than likely they're going to succumb to their surroundings. They're going to build bonds with people. And I will say, right, growing up in the hood was something that was insanely traumatic, but I wouldn't trade the experience for this world. I will say it's kind of sad that like literally every year, almost from the age of 16 to now, I kind of lost somebody from the hood due to gun violence or whatever the case may be. But I will say the experience is unmatched. It taught me a lot, including to stay away from these bad boys. Because it's just like, it comes to a point where it just gets real old. It comes to a point where it's very anxiety driven, because it's like, you don't know when you're going to get that phone call that it's the end. You don't know when you're going to get that phone call where it's like, oh, you need to go pick up your man from the precinct. Luckily for me, I never got that far, okay? I never got that far. And that brings me to my next point, the thrill, okay? There's a lot of women out there that just like the thrill of being with a bad boy, okay? There's some people out there that like that, oh, well, they're rude, they're crude, they're a criminal. To be honest, I'm damn near 30. Shit, I'll be 30 in a few days. By the time you guys watch this, I'll already be 30. Ain't nothing thrilling about that shit. Like, I feel like a lot of it is subconscious for a lot of people, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people, it's not like they go out their way, right? I don't feel like a lot of people go out there with like, well, I need me a bad boy, even though I do know a lot of people who are like this, okay? I do know a lot of people that are very like, oh, I need a bad boy. I needed this, I needed that. And it's like, you're literally like 38 and in law school. What the fuck do we need a bad boy for? Like, we need to stop this nonsense. But I feel like subconsciously, there's a lot of women that were raised a particular way, or were put in a certain environment where a bad boy just kind of makes sense for them. So going into the next point, sheltered, okay? Being sheltered. I need to make a dedicated video on this, right? Because being sheltered is something a lot of people don't talk about, because that shit could fuck your kids up OD. When you literally sit there and you shield your kids from any and every type of experience that may be fun or serve as a learning experience, you end up creating a situation where that child, I mean, just, there's no way I can sugarcoat this, ain't got no damn street smarts. They see Pookie, they see Daquan, they see Timothy, and they don't understand like, this is not the best person. They just want to be with them so they can fix them, so they can bring them into their sheltered life. And I see this happen to a lot of different women. Although we know there are women that just like that thrill. They like bad boys. They like thugs. They like the charges. They like the jail visits. There are some women that subconsciously, it's because they were sheltered. They don't know any better. They don't know any street smarts. They never dated a boy before. This might be their first boyfriend. And unfortunately, they fall into the trap and they have to learn the hard way. And unfortunately, for some of them, it's just way too late. They just got to college and now they're getting pregnant. They're 25 and they met this man on the street. They thought he was a good one, but now he not. And now he beat her ass. Like, it's sad, because a lot of times we do think of this as common sense. And to be honest, I'm one of those people that's like, bro, common sense, right? But I do understand that for a lot of people, it's not necessarily common sense. It's a nature thing. It's an environmental thing. Of course, we have that Christian upbringing, right? There's a lot of women out there that were brought up Christian, and the Christian way is to help others. The Christian way is to spread the word, be that word. But most importantly, if someone comes to you and they are broken, you fix them. Y'all, I think a lot of us take that shit way too literally. A lot of us have that build a man mentality. A lot of us have oh, well, he's mean, I could fix it. He's violent, I could fix it. He's a drug dealer, I could fix it. He's a felon, I could fix it. You can't fucking fix it. A man only changes for him. Okay, although I do say, right, there's a lot of men, okay, in that field. Like, I'm mad I said field like it's a career. There's a lot of men in that sector that are just ain't shit, horrible criminals or whatever that need a woman in order to set them straight. Don't ever in your life be with a man like that, because chances are, one, when you leave, they're gonna go right back and that's not good for society. Two, they literally are codependent on you. Don't ever be with somebody that is codependent on you. And three, it's just like, I hate to say it, but what kind of man is that? Why would you want a man that needs to be with a woman in order to succeed, in order to do things that they need to do as a man? Like, literally, like, just genuinely think about it. I've never been with a man that I had to build. Like, you shouldn't have to, because at the end of the day, you are you, and you should be doing the best for you that you want, okay? That you need so you could get where you need to be in life. It should never be a case of, oh, I need a girl, oh, I need a woman. Like, I'm telling y'all, I had a couple men that tried me with that. When I'm telling you, I was out. Like, when I'm telling you, it was like, no, like, I can't. Like, there's some men that, like, I really liked, I really had a crush on, but it was just like, they were bums. Like, that's really what it is. They were bums. They were always getting in trouble. And it's like, it got to a point where I hit like maybe 23, 24. I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, because it's like a job. It's like you're raising a whole nother man. And it's worse if you have kids, because they end up being one of your kids for, like, don't nobody got time for that. All right. If you think that you're going to change this man and you're going to change his life, you're not. All right. You're not. Also, let's remember, right? Let's give these men some credit. Not all of them start bad. Like I said earlier, like, a lot of the men that I dated that ended up being bad boys weren't necessarily bad. They was just poorly behaved, okay? Like, they were always getting suspended. They had bad attitudes. They was fighting, but it was never selling drugs, getting locked up, carrying weapon type vibe until after. Okay, if you guys follow me on my personal channel where I do my story times now, I told a story about JJ. That's one of my exes where, like, we broke up, but some way, somehow, he had the nerve to hand me a knife to hide from him. And I was like, JJ, we not, no. I think I did it anyway, but you guys get the point, right? Like, sometimes a lot of them don't start off like that. Like, a lot of boys go from delinquent to felon very, very quick. And it's very heartbreaking to me, because I feel like, although as Black women, we do have a focus on girls because we are women and we don't want the girls to go through what we went through, there has to be something said about these boys, right? Especially these boys with no fathers. And it's crazy because I know there's going to be someone who comments down below like, oh my God, y'all always blaming shit on men. Da, da, da. Well, let's be real here. With a lot of these boys, a lot of these men that are running the streets, that are always in jail, that are always doing fuck shit that they're not supposed to be doing, a lot of them do not have fathers. And unfortunately, the truth of the matter is, if they had fathers, they wouldn't be that way. And it's the same thing for a lot of these girls that are promiscuous or have horrible attitudes or have trauma-based instincts or attachment styles. If the fathers were in their lives, we wouldn't have these problems. But of course, we know the mothers be keeping some of them away. Child, we're not even gonna go down that rabbit hole, are we not? That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But it's sad because a lot of us do put focus on the girls, and I think that's important too. But we also need to put focus on these men. There's a lot of Sage, you're this cat, I don't know. Oh, I think she's chasing my shadow on the wall. But there's a lot of these men that feel like, unfortunately, the lack of a father does a lot. The lack of a two-parent household and not having a father figure as a fail-safe is also a lot. And I know there's probably a lot of moms watching this that don't have the fathers in their lives, and you're probably looking at me like, what the fuck do you know? Trust me. I've lived it in terms of, like, from my friends, from my family members. Like, it's sad. Like, not having a father truly does affect a child. And it's something that I'm very sure has been explored academically. If it has, I'll link something down below. But it's like, y'all really be on this whole, oh, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. You don't need no man. But that child does. Okay. The child needs their father, or else they end up like Pookie, Timothy, Jonathan, and Daquan. We do not need that. All right. We need less of these boys going to jail. We need more of these men taking care of their kids. Now, because common sense isn't so common, let me clarify, right? Kids are going to do what they're going to do. Point blank, period. However, with the lack of guidance from one parent, when initially we all know it takes two to tango, regardless of if you are a single parent by choice, if you don't have a kid's father, if you don't have a kid's mother,
if you don't have that village around you, okay, because it's not even just a parental thing. It really is real. When people say it takes a village, that's a real thing. When you lack either the mother, the father, or the village, that child is going to turn out drastically different. I'm not going to say the kid is going to end up being a bad boy, a bad girl, misbehave, have cognitive issues. But I'm saying you have more of a chance of something going wrong than something going right if you don't have one of those key components. Like, that's just the fact of the matter, right? There's a lot of people out there that don't live near family and they have to put their child in babysitting. Obviously, now that child is surrounded by so many different types of kids, so many different types of people, so many different types of scenarios that they probably wouldn't have been subjected to if you had family around, right? And it's the same thing with a father or a mother. If that kid had a mom and a dad, okay, it was consistently spending time with them, lived with them in the same household, a lot of these things would happen to them. This is why I have to clarify, because I know there's going to be people that try to, well, there's some kids that do whatever they want. Say you have a badass kid without saying that you have a badass kid, because that's basically why you're trying to argue me down in my comment section. Obviously, not everyone is the same, okay? Everything I say is all about perspective. Everything you see on the internet is all about perspective at the end of the day. Unfortunately, from the people that I've experienced, like, that were extremely close to me, that lived without a parent, lived with their grandparents, lived like under very, let me just say, very sad circumstances, I realized a lot of it has to do with the lack of parenting. And what's also not always talked about is the fact that a lot of these kids that grow up in these types of circumstances just don't really understand that they could be doing better things with their lives. They feel like they have to run the streets to get attention. They feel like they have to do this, they have to do that. There's a lot that goes into this. So yeah, just for those people I know that's going to come, oh, well, kids do whatever. Okay, they do. I'm just saying, my parents were pretty chill with me. They really were. And I turned out pretty damn good. I cuss like a sailor. That's about it. But in general, got my bachelor's, got my master's, work full time for myself. I dance, I teach kids, I give back to my community. Like, I'm very big on giving back. And there's a lot of people out there that, you know, won't really understand what I'm saying, because they're so stuck on the, oh, well, black men this and black women this. It's like, no, that's not the point.
So we're not going to talk about how a lot of these women ain't shit too. Like, it's very interesting, because I always hear this conversation, right? And I always see people like, why do these good women always go after these bad men? And I just be like, who said they were good? What's interesting to me is a lot of people just see a woman that is educated, clean, gets her hair done, gets her nails done, takes care of herself, or whatever the case may be, and just assume that's a good woman. There's so many other things that make you a good woman, okay? At one point, I wasn't shit, all right? I was living in my parents' house, stressed, horrible attitude, overweight, annoying as hell. Like, y'all, when I'm telling y'all, I went back in my DMs before, like, years, like back when I was single, and I was like, Jesus, I don't know why these men were chasing me. But at the same time, I looked at the type of men that were chasing me, and I was like, you know what, that's why. Because I was trash. How the fuck you want a nigga with a car and you ain't got a car? How the hell you want a nigga with a house and you can't even approve for a mortgage? How the hell you want a nigga with all the things that you don't have? And that also goes into the whole idea of like hypergamy and marrying up and stuff. And yes, I believe you should marry up. I believe you should always be with someone that makes you strive to be better. But when you ain't got shit and you try to go to somebody that got everything together and you're not even trying to get it together, you're not in therapy, you're not in school, you don't got a career, you don't got a business, like you're not trying to do anything, and you're just riding on the coattails of, oh, when I get married, he gonna take care of me. That's when shit becomes a problem. Because what happens is you end up getting someone that's going to prey on you. You end up getting someone that's going to be like, well, you ain't got shit anyway, so why the fuck should I take you seriously? And it took me a while to realize, like, damn, I'm the problem. I need to work on myself. I need to get a car. I need to move out my parents' house. Like, I need to get my YouTube popping. Like, it was crazy, because now that I'm 30, like, legit, I look back like, wow, 21, 22, 23-year-old me was just not the best person. And it's funny because my current man now, we talked for 3 years before we got together. I was celibate for a good amount of time before we got together. And I remember he kept saying, oh, you know, we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready. And I'm like, nigga, fuck you. Yo, I just feel like, nigga, fuck you. What you mean we not ready? Oh, yeah, no, we wasn't ready. Between my attitude and his attitude, child, we would have murdered each other. And it takes a lot to look within yourself, whether it's your current self or your past self, and say, yo, I wasn't shit.
Time and again, I am not saying go marry a bum because you a bum. I'm saying Have something going for yourself before you go out there and try to date people. You can't be out here having high expectations when you have zero expectations for yourself. You sitting here, you want a man with a mansion, you want a man with a degree, you want a man with a this, with a that, and you literally sitting there with an associate, like, and no car. Like, we can't do that. We got to be for real. Yes, men are supposed to provide, but at the same time, things are all fun and games until that man passes away, leaves you for someone else. So many things could happen. You have to have your own stuff. Like, I can't stand the idea of all these women and all these channels and podcasts trying to push, oh, well, yeah, you know, you just marry a white man, and, oh, no, you marry a man that makes 8 figures, and da. Bro, that's not your money. That's not your accomplishments. That shit could go away in 2.5. Have something for yourself, okay? Have something for yourself, and also have the ability to look at yourself and look at your circumstances and understand that you may not have a lot going on. You may not be all that. You may think, oh yeah, well, I'm in college. I'm a college girl. That don't really mean shit. How is your morality? How are your manners? How are you to other people? How kind are you? Do you go to church? Do you not go to church? Not saying that that's a requirement, but you guys understand, right? Like, do you give back to your community? Like, what is your soul like? That's what really, really matters. Just because someone has material things or does what society wants them to do doesn't necessarily make them a good person. I will say, when I started getting my shit together, I became untouchable. Bums was never. Okay, of course, we had the audacious ones, but for the most part, nah, the caliber of men that would approach me, completely different. You need to get your shit together. If you keep attracting bums, for real, like, you keep attracting, 9 times out of 10, it might, I'm not saying it always is, it might be something with you that is attracting them. And let's be real, a lot of bums are attracted by the light, okay? If you have, like, a brightness about you, a happiness, and a naiveness about you, it's going to attract the wrong type of attention, unfortunately. So you have to be able to peep game.
I didn't have my shit together. It takes a lot to really look at yourself and say, you know what? I could have done better. You know what? I wasn't that nice, or I wasn't that good of a person. And I'm going to say right now, yeah, no, child. Like, all those times I was sad that I'm going on horrible dates with horrible men, child. I hate to say I deserve that. Because I ain't gonna lie, some of it might have been my karma. Because I treated certain dudes like caca, right? But some of it was mainly me attracting what I was putting out, if that makes sense, right? Men are kind of like wolves? You know what I mean? They have a strong scent for desperation. They have a strong scent for you just not having your shit together. And that's how a lot of women fall into these traps, right? A lot of women, we are told, oh, well, you are running out of time. Oh, well, you know, you're 30, you're 40, you're 50. You need to have kids. You need to get married. Nigga, that's your fucking life. Fuck these niggas. Nigga, fuck you. It's not your life. Don't listen to these people. You get in a relationship, you get married, you have kids. You do whatever it is on your own time. Granted, I understand it might be a little disheartening to be 45 and you ain't got nobody yet, but there's so much life to live and not enough life to give to someone that you don't need to be with, someone that you're not supposed to be with, and most importantly, somebody that's a bad boy at fucking like 38. Bro, seeing people in their 30s on the block just bothers the fuck out of me. 40, 50, and you better be a kingpin. That's how I always said it, bro. If I ever end up with a nigga that's this, that, and the third, he better be the kingpin. Okay, he better be the head of the cartel, mafia, whatever, because that's the only way I'm doing it. Ain't no way you telling me you 46 and you dealing with somebody that's selling weed on the corner. It's unfathomable. Piggybacking from my point of a lot of women just like not being as good as you think they are. A lot of people see a woman that is put together and they think, oh, well, why isn't she in a better place? Why is she with this trash ass man? Sometimes these niggas match each other, okay? A lot of people will see, oh, this woman makes a lot of money. They got this, they got that. Why are they with him? Sometimes intellectually, sometimes maturity level, sometimes like they're on the same exact page. You just don't see it because you're looking at possessions. You're looking at the degrees. You're looking at the records. You're looking at the reputation. No, a lot of these people are just as trash. They have just as bad mindsets. They are not good people. A lot of these women that you see with these bad boys, they're not necessarily bad girls, right? They don't have records. They don't whatever, but you need to understand that a lot of times just the way that they act, their mindset, their maturity level matches this person. And yeah, although that's a felon with someone that sold millions of records, you have to look at what these people do. It's a pattern. There's a couple of celebrities out there who are with men, and we're always sitting there like, why would he or she be with this person? But then when you really look at their background, when you look at their patterns, when you look at the things that they say and they do, it's like, okay, it makes perfect sense that you would be with this person because you're equally trash. Not in possessions, not in accolades, but in maturity level, in mindset, in who they are. When it comes to bad boys, I've definitely been done with that chapter. I ain't gonna hold you. Last bad boy I dated, I had to be like 15 to 16. Any other bad boy I dated after that, I was unaware. Like that ass. Like I had maybe 2 bad boys. Rest in peace to them. Where it was like, I ain't know nothing about they shit until way after the fact. And it's like, ooh, let me scale back. I need me a man with degrees. I need me a man with a future because this ain't it. You feel me? And take it from me. If you're watching this and you into a bad boy, okay, let's go down the list again. If he is constantly getting locked up, if he is constantly getting kicked out, if he is constantly getting suspended in detention, got a bad attitude, doesn't respect authority, like literally the run of the mill bad boy, anything I described in this video, leave his ass alone, especially if you damn near 30, 40, 50, 80. There's no reason you should be attracted to somebody like that, and you deserve better. A lot of this stems from lack of self-love and lack of self-care. A lot of you guys think you deserve that. You think you deserve a man that is going to be in and out of jail, that disrespects you, that beats on you, but you don't. You think you deserve a man that you have to fix, and you don't. You think you deserve a man that literally will never be there for you because they're going to be in and out of prison, but you don't. At the end of the day, these are men that the devil sends as distractions and the Lord sends as lessons. Learn your lesson and get the fuck out. All right. We're just not going to do it in 2025. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please let me know, have you ever been caught up with a bad boy? How did it go? How did it end? I would love to hear your stories down below. Please make sure you guys check out my other channels because when I'm not posting here, I'm posting there. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all next time.